Welcome to this session. I'm going to be talking about using our Dynamics 365 Field Service mobile app as a technician to do some work order planning and routing. So I'll actually share my mobile app and we'll get going. All right, I'm in the mobile app that a technician can use to manage their bookings for the day. This is actually the list of bookings that is assigned to me at the moment. So I've got a few work orders that I can see coming up before I wrap up my day here. This is the standard agenda view that's going to let me see the accounts that I'm going to be visiting, a little bit about what type of incident that I'm going to be going out there to work on, and also the address of that service account. I can look at this information a couple of different ways, though. If I want to see it in more of a calendar format, I can change this toggle to switch to a daily view. And then there's also a map view, which I like to be able to get a visual sense of physically where I'm going. So you can see my location. I'm in South Tampa. I'm that blue dot kind of in the middle, but there are some blue pins representing the accounts that I'm going to be visiting over the course of my day today. So I can even click on that pin and use this shortcut to get driving directions. If I'm ready to go ahead and start heading towards that account and I just need to know how to get there, I can do that. I also have an option to call my primary contact that's associated with the work order. I'm going to click on view details though, because before I head out, I'm actually going to do a little bit more planning to make sure I'm fully prepared to visit this customer. So when I get into the details, I'm now looking at the details of the booking. I can see that I'm scheduled. I know what my start time is and when I'm expected to wrap up. On the customer tab, I'm going to see a little bit more information about exactly where I'm going. So there's that service account. That blue link is an indication that I can actually tap on that and get to more details about the account record. I also have, again, the address and a map where I can actually click on get directions, where it will open up my phone's map application and get directions that way. Another thing I'm going to want to check out just to prepare for this work order is the service tab. This is going to tell me a little bit more about specifically what I'm going to be doing once I get there. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and on your interface, these fields can be laid out a little bit differently, but one important field, actually a couple important fields that you're going to want to look for are the primary incident type. That's going to tell you generally what type of job we're doing, and then also the primary incident customer asset. So if you're servicing specific assets at the customer location, that's going to be a link into the asset where you can actually get more information about the history of that asset, including any work orders that any technicians, as long as I have rights to view that, I can view other work orders that other technicians have worked on in the past, which might be helpful. There's also some property information. So if this is a refrigerator that's maybe running a little hotter than it should, this property is going to show me recent temperature readings, things like that. It could be obviously other types of readings or properties, depending on what type of asset it is. But that gives you a good sense of the history of this particular asset. Also, towards the top of this service tab, I'm going to see a list of what's called service tasks. Essentially, that's like a checklist, could be even a more detailed inspection form. I'm going to make sure that I complete those tasks as part of completing this job. So it might help to get a look at those service tasks before you actually head out there and really get an understanding of what you're expected to do over the course of the job. Now, this might be a tricky repair job that maybe I'm not as familiar with. We have linked articles. That's a way of pulling in information from a knowledge base to show you a little bit more information about how you might be able to troubleshoot this issue. If this knowledge base is something that we're building out internally because we've seen similar issues, and that could really be helpful to make sure your technicians are fully prepared. There's also a timeline tab, and this could be useful for understanding what kind of discussions, maybe phone calls or emails, have already happened related to this booking. So in this case, I can see Casey Hendricks, maybe Casey's one of our dispatchers or a manager, has already spoken with the store manager, and she mentioned that they experienced a power outage over the weekend. So by getting that kind of back history of what led to this booking, I'm going to make sure I'm fully prepared. So if I am ready to go, I'm just going to change this booking status to traveling. And then on the customer tab, again, that's where I've got my driving directions. So if I don't know exactly where I'm going already, that can pull up my map and make sure I know exactly how to get there. So pretty simple to make sure that you have what you need to go into a job fully prepared. From a routing perspective as well, worth noting that this booking that I'm looking at here may have been booked by someone in dispatch or again, maybe an admin type of person, or it could be something that was scheduled automatically via what we call resource scheduling optimization. Either way, I know which bookings I've got lined up. They're in a logical order. So I'm fully prepared to address these work orders in the times that we've got them scheduled for. So the customers know when I'm going to be there, and I'm going to make sure that I have what I need to successfully fix their issue on the first trip out to their site. So that's all. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks a lot for joining.